I remember we had this kid who was shot in the neck, and the bullet had exited through the child's chin. This child was only 2 years old, and the father had carried this child in a blanket from his home. And remember, there's no fuel in Gaza, and father couldn't afford to pay someone for a donkey cart to get it to the hospital, so he ran with the child in a blanket with a gunshot wound through the neck had gone out through his chest. 2-year-old child. And I remember when that child arrived into the emergency department, he was still alive, and the father placed the child in my hands, and he says, "Yeah, doctor, he's still breathing." And, we don't even have a ventilator in the hospital, in the emergency department. We didn't even have a ventilator. And this child, you could see the fear in his eyes. The panic of his father was, but this child had lost so much blood that he was just in this kind of paralytic state. And because obviously the exit wound had been the chin, he was coughing up blood. And this child was choking on his own blood. And the child held onto my stethoscope as he was dying while he was choking on his own blood. And we didn't even have a suction device. And I didn't want to start putting my fingers down his throat to scoop up blood because I knew he was going to imminently die. And I just held this child while he just held onto my stethoscope, and I could see the fear in his eyes. I could see the despair in this child's eye. When you're holding a child choking on his own blood, and when I said to the father, when the child died in my arms, I said to the father, "He's dead." The father looked at me and says, "But I brought him to you alive."